Script: Future 2075. Episode: Humans no longer drive. In 2075, driving your own car may be seen as something reckless. Not cool, not normal, not a symbol of freedom, but a dangerous habit from the past. The way we look at smoking on airplanes today. We're letting children ride without seatbelts. That is how people in 2075 may look back at human driving. And honestly, they may have a point. Because for most of history, humans drove with emotion, with distraction, with ego, with fatigue. We drove when we were angry. We drove when we were heartbroken. We drove while texting, while eating, while half awake, while trying to beat the red light. We trusted ourselves with a machine heavy enough to destroy lives in a second. And somehow, we called that normal. Now imagine a very different world. It is the year 2075. The city wakes up before you do. Road sensors are already active. Traffic grids are already thinking. Vehicles are already exchanging data with each other at impossible speed. Every street, every corner, every lane, every moving object is part of one giant living system. No one is guessing. No one is reacting late. No one is slamming the brakes because they were not paying attention. Cars do not hope the road is clear. They know. They know because thousands of sensors are watching every angle at once. They know because every vehicle is connected to the same network. They know because the road itself is intelligent. The crosswalk is intelligent. The traffic light is intelligent. Even the sidewalk is intelligent. And in that world, the biggest threat on the road is no longer weather, or darkness, or traffic. It is the human being who still wants control. Think about that. For over 100 years, people believed driving meant freedom. Hands on the wheel, foot on the pedal, music playing, window down, total control. But in 2075, that same image may feel primitive, like insisting on navigating the ocean with a paper map during the satellite age. Because freedom will no longer mean controlling the car yourself.
Good Lord.
Freedom will mean arriving safely without needing to control anything at all. You step into the vehicle. It recognizes your face, adjusts the seat, checks your health status, reads the traffic flow across the city, calculates the safest route, the fastest route, the quietest route, and the route with the lowest energy demand. All of that happens before the door even closes. There is no steering wheel, no pedals, no mirror adjustment, no panic, just a cabin, a destination, and a system that has already made millions of micro decisions better than any human could. In 2075, traffic may no longer feel like traffic, because traffic jams, as we know them, mostly come from human behavior. Late braking, lane cutting, rubbernecking, hesitation, aggression, bad judgment. One human mistake creates a wave. That wave becomes a slowdown. That slowdown becomes a jam. But when every car moves as part of one synchronized network, roads behave differently. Cars travel with perfect spacing, perfect timing, perfect awareness. Intersections do not need chaotic guesswork. Vehicles flow through them like blood through healthy veins. Smooth, precise, efficient. No honking, no sudden swerving, no road rage. Just motion. Clean, silent, organized motion. And here is the part that changes everything. AI-driven vehicles will not just be more convenient. They may be statistically so much safer than human drivers that allowing manual driving becomes morally questionable. Let that sink in.
Stunning.
Not just outdated,
Cheers to
not just
that.
inconvenient, morally questionable. Because if the system can prevent almost every collision, then choosing to drive manually may look less like a personal choice, and more like choosing unnecessary risk. Imagine telling someone in 2075, "I prefer driving myself." And they respond, "You mean you want a human brain with emotions and blind spots to control 2 tons of metal at high speed?" That sentence alone can sound absurd in the future, because human beings are not consistent. We get distracted. We overestimate
Safety
ourselves.
systems active.
We make irrational decisions in
systems
tiny moments
optimal.
that change lives forever.
Enjoy your
AI
journey.
does not get sleepy. It does not get impatient. It does not show off. It does not drive faster because another car offended its pride. It does not look at a notification for 2 seconds and miss a child crossing the road. And that is why the future may not trust us behind the wheel. Not because humans are evil, but because humans are limited. Now picture a teenager in 2075 asking their grandparents, "Wait, you actually drove cars yourselves?" And the grandparents laugh, then pause, because suddenly they remember what that really meant. a steering wheel in the rain, driving through fog, missing exits, getting stuck in traffic for 2 hours, watching drunk drivers move across lanes, hearing sirens in the distance, seeing flashing lights on the highway, reading headlines about crashes caused by 1 second of distraction. And then the teenager asks the real question: why would anyone allow that? That is when the past starts sounding insane, because many things feel normal until the future replaces them. Once elevators had operators, once surgery without anesthesia was normal, once people accepted thousands of deaths for problems we now know how to prevent. And maybe one day, manual driving joins that list. A dangerous custom people defended until a smarter system made the defense impossible. But the future is not only about safety. It is also about redesigning the entire experience of movement. In 2075, the car may no longer be a car, at least not in the way we think of it now. It becomes a moving room, a mobile office, a sleeping pod, a private lounge, a meditation capsule, a social bubble on wheels. You do not drive to work. You begin work the moment you enter the vehicle. You do not sit
I am so late!
You reclaim
this
that
is
time.
ridiculous!
You rest.
Just move
You rest.
already!
You eat breakfast. You call your family. You watch the morning skyline slide silently past the glass. And while you live your life, the machine handles the road with near-perfect precision. That changes city design too. Parking lots shrink because cars do not sit idle in the same way. Accidents drop, so emergency road infrastructure changes. Noise pollution falls. Insurance industries transform. Driving schools disappear. Driver's licenses become rare. Owning a car may even become less important than subscribing to a mobility network. The entire culture around driving begins to fade. No more learning to drive as a rite of passage. No more proud first key. No more arguing about who is the better driver. For generations, driving was tied to adulthood, independence, status, identity. But in 2075, identity may come from what you do inside the journey,
serious?
not from controlling
incredibly
it.
inefficient.
Still, not
And
everyone will
dangerous.
welcome that one. Some people will call it sterile, too controlled, too centralized, too dependent on technology. And they will not be completely wrong, because every future convenience comes with a price. If cities become fully dependent on AI mobility networks, then a system failure is no small problem. It is chaos, a cyber attack, a power grid collapse, a satellite disruption, a software corruption event. Any of these could freeze movement across entire regions. In a world where no one knows how to drive anymore, what happens when the network goes dark? That is the hidden fear under all this perfection. The more intelligent the system becomes, the more fragile society may become without it. And there is another question. Who controls the system? Who decides how vehicles prioritize safety? Who gets access first in an emergency? Who owns the movement data of billions of people? Where you go, when you leave, how often you travel, who travels with you. That data is not small. That data is powerful. So yes, the roads of 2075 may be safer, cleaner, smarter, faster, but also more monitored, more automated, more dependent on invisible code most people will never understand. And maybe that is where the real debate begins. Not whether AI drives better than humans. It probably will. But whether humans are willing to give up control completely. Because this is never only about transportation. It is about trust. Trusting a machine with your body. Trusting a network with your routine. Trusting a system with your survival. And human beings are strange. We say we want safety, but we also want agency. We say we want convenience, but we fear becoming useless. So the future road is not just a technological shift. It is a psychological one. The steering wheel disappears, but something else disappears with it too. The illusion that we were ever truly in control. Maybe that is why this future feels exciting and unsettling, because deep down, we know the machine may become better than us at one more thing we once thought defined humanity. Judgment, reaction, decision-making under pressure. And if machines take that over too, then what is left for us? Maybe the answer is simple: living, feeling, creating, connecting. Maybe the future does not want us to focus on operating machines. Maybe it wants to free us from that. Maybe the point of 2075 is not that humans become less important. Maybe it is that we stop wasting our minds on tasks machines can do better. But that still leaves one final image. A museum. A preserved car from the early 2000s. Leather seats. Round steering wheel. Gas pedal. Brake pedal. Rear view mirror. A child stares at it through the glass and asks, "People sat in this and controlled it themselves?" "Yes," someone says. "Every day." The child looks confused, maybe even horrified, and then asks the question that defines the whole century. Weren't they scared? Maybe they were. Maybe they just got used to it. Because that is what humans do. We normalize danger until something smarter makes danger look ridiculous. So when 2075 arrives, manual driving may not disappear because people stopped loving it. It may disappear because society stopped tolerating the cost. Too many deaths, too many mistakes, too much unpredictability,
Look at this
too
one,
much
very
human error
sweet.
in a world that no longer needs
Beautiful,
it.
thank
And
you.
on that day, the steering wheel will become a symbol, not of progress, but of the time when humans believed control was the same thing as freedom. So here's the real question. If a car with no steering wheel could take you anywhere, more safely than any human ever could, would you trust it? Would you sit down, let the doors close, and give up control completely? Would you dare to ride in a car with no steering wheel?